Alright guys, today is the day. Finally going to be working on the front. We're putting on the coilovers. We already did the back, now we got to do the front. Putting on the new E36 lower control arms. We're also putting on the eBay angle kit and just going to improve the whole front end because everything's all rusted and just crap. I got some of the parts here on the table. Coilovers, you know, the $300 specials off Amazon. Just a shitty aluminum little adjuster for getting that angle. And we got the E46 control arms. These don't bolt in. We got to do some work. I'm gonna show, you know, what I have to do to the arms to get them to work. And I'm gonna kind of explain, you know, using the angle, and also just kind of show, you know, how I'm gonna mount the sway bar, being that we're not going to use the E36 lower control arms anymore. So yeah, so pretty much we just gotta get all the old shit off. Okay, so we got everything off. That inner ball joint took forever. I mean, I just had like a couple degrees of swing with an open end wrench. Can't get a tool on it because the nut's too close to the motor mount. It sucked. That was the worst part. I guess the outer ball joint, I said the inner ball joint for the car. The outer ball joint started spinning. So I tried to clamp it to undo the nut, but I gave up on it and just said I'll just take it in the garage and just try to figure out, maybe get an impact. It might free itself or something. I don't know. I kind of gave up. But I guess now that I have everything off, I can kind of explain the changes. The new parts that are going to go on is kind of different than the original shit I took off. So let's kind of just go through the differences. Okay, so then we're going to talk about the arm differences. Okay, so I have them both laid out here. I got the regular E36, you know, cast iron arm over here. Then I have the E46 arm over here. There's a little bit of differences you have to, you know, I guess account for when doing this in order to make it just kind of fit in. The main thing is the tips themselves. So this one has just a round end shaft piece, and this one is a hex. You can kind of see it there. So in order to count for it, what we'll do is we'll just measure in science units. It's about 20 mils, and then across here it is just over 20.8, just under 21 millimeters. So what we'll do is we're gonna have to grind these points down to make a round end piece. Another thing to note is where that little lollipop bushing sits. Let's see, so approximately from the center line of the ball joint to here, hold on, I'm trying to do two things at once, it's roughly 11 inches. And so for here, what we're gonna have to do is we'll have to grind into the arm itself. That way you're gonna have an issue with the actual, I guess, lollipop being able to sit against the car itself, because the E36 and E46 front ends are a little different. Another thing people do this, other than just obvious, I mean, aluminum is like, this thing's barely nothing, while this thing is just massive, heavy. So from where, you know, this is where the, you know, this end is on the subframe itself, and this is where the steering knuckle sits. You have approximately, let's see if I can get this in the shot. So center line on the front ball joint, and the inner one, we're roughly at 14 inches. And so with the stock E36, let's see, we're roughly at about 13 inches. So what that's going to do is going to give us a little bit more camber on the front end at really no cost, other than just buying E46 control arms. So all you have to do is focus on this, just grind down to have the same profile as the stock ones, and that way the lollipop bushings will fit right on. Another thing we have to note is the sway bar mount. mounted down here on the lower control arm for just a regular 325. They don't have anything like that. I think it's like a ride sensor or something, some kind of hole. I know a lot of people do that. But what I did was, because we have, some coilovers going on here, they have the little bracket mounted on the body themselves to kind of accept the M3 sway bar links. I think I have one over here. Yeah. So this is the basic M3 sway bar mount. Will mount on the actual coilover itself, or shock body itself. Let's see. I think I have a stock one over here. The stock one doesn't have that bracket on there. This is the actual sway bar end link itself that mounts to the control arm. So we're just using, just regular E36 M3 sway bar end links. We're able to, keep the sway bar and not have to worry about drilling or relocating the lower mount for the sway bar end links on the new control arm. So that's good. So just wanted to point out these differences if anyone's watching this video doing this for themselves. I know a lot of times people don't really explain in what I've seen in videos. So I just wanted to point out, you're going to have to grind down, further than where the bushing sits on the E46, because the E36 from the subframe ball joint to where the lollipop bushing sits is a little bit narrower than in an E46. But I mean, it's aluminum, so it's easy to grind and everything like that. All right, so I guess I'm gonna go over the pretty much the eBay angle kit. Pretty much what you get are these little bars. It says E36 on it, and for each side you get a bolt and two conical, pretty much lug nuts is what they are, little conical nuts on the end. One good thing, you have two holes here with the cones on it, so that's what those nuts sit in. So as everything off eBay, it doesn't come with any kind of instructions or anything, or how to put it together. So I got the knuckle here off the car, and pretty much what I've discovered, keep the E36 part down, and it just sits on where the lower ball joint mounts and where the original tie rod end mounts. And so what it does is it moves the tie rod in just a little bit compared to the pivot point. So that way, for each stroke, you get a certain amount of stroke with the steering rack. Being that you have the pivot point closer, the pickup point for the tie rod closer to the pivot point. I guess this is what gives you more angle. It's the only thing. With it, you put the nuts for the tie rod mounting section over here, and that's where the bolt kind of sits in. So that's what kind of holds everything together there. Kind of hold it together. And then you hit a bolt for the lower ball joint. So that's what kind of holds it together. It looks kind of close to the bottom of the where the coilover is going to sit, and we can kind of fuck with it right now and kind of see how it'll sit. So let me go get one real quick. Let me set the tripod up and just see how it's going to work out. Of course, it ran off to fucking nowhere, as per usual. Alright, so the coilover's kind of sitting in there. So this is going to be a motherfucker to kind of get it in. So hopefully I remember to put the damn angle and everything on before I mount up the coilover. But I see me having to cut the coilover in the near future based off how close it was. Alright, so we got the coilover up here. We got the old crusty Bilsteins. Seen some better days here. A bunch of rust and everything, and surface rust, corrosion. The top hat is loose. It's got some bearing play up there. But pretty much, it's got the same, 3 mounting points here. It's got the little, little opening, except the little dick pretty much on the spindle to kind of locate it. We still have the same, pickups for the, it's the ABS sensor and the brake line itself. One thing missing is the, like I talked about, the M3 style sway bar link mount. Instead of mounting on the lower control arm, it mounts on the shock body itself. That's not on this one. We'll swing around to the top. We got a lot of adjustment in here for I'm assuming camber, pure guess. So we can mess with that when it's on the car. Everything here is pretty much rock solid. A little bit of bearing play. I don't know if you can hear, probably not. But size-wise, there's a big difference. So it'd be cool to see it in the car. So I guess let's just cut to the chase and put all this shit back on. All right, so I had it on time lapse for installing everything, and the battery died. So sorry about that. So now I'm just going to show you, one side with it fully in, just to kind of see how it looks. All right, so this is one side. I got it all in. Got the coilover in. I got to adjust everything with the ride height. I needed to wait until the fronts were on so I could do all four corners kind of at the same time, but it's in. I got the offset lower control, or I guess the lollipop bushing, whatever it's called, garageistic ones, the middle of the mall shit, not the hard, not the soft. You can see I don't have the control arm mounted sway bar link anymore. It's the M3 style mounted to the coilover body itself. But yeah, I mean this is the tie rod's not connected, but shit, that's a lot. I have to get new tie rods because I blew the other side out, so I'll replace both of them, I guess. But yeah, here's the little adapter piece, and then the tie rod mounts into this little hole right down here, right there. Oh, that guy. But yeah, man, excited. Not gonna put it on the ground yet because obvious reasons. I don't have the other side done. Wanted to kind of just show everything, but man, it looks stupid low. I might have to adjust it some, so I just needed to kind of have it on there to just kind of eyeball everything to make sure everything's good. Alright, so finally got the front end components in. I kind of left all the junk here. I guess I'm gonna have to make a big scrap metal run because I just have so much shit. I'm gonna keep the cats because that's junkyard currency right there. I ain't throwing that stuff away. So yeah, I guess I was thinking about doing a cooling system for the next video, but I think I really need to finally get it on the ground, maybe get some sound clips, maybe do a little string alignment to get it, road ready, just to, kind of see where we're at, and that way I'll have, be able to drive it some, maybe nut and bolt check everything, double check, triple check everything. I know I got a lot of eBay parts, so we definitely got to triple check that shit. Let's see, I guess next video, that'll be the next video. Cooling system is going to be the following video, hopefully, if, everything goes according to plan. I'm going to delete the clutch fan. I have the kit from FCP Euro with the lower temperature thermostat, lower temperature the radiator switch that'll kick on the auxiliary fan, because I hear a lot of bad things about the clutch fans exploding, so I figured I can use this stuff to delete the clutch fan for now. I'm gonna put an actual temperature gauge so I know the actual degrees and not go based off the stock cluster, and kind of just see from there, just see, hey, this is working or this isn't working. I can put the clutch fan back on or get a new fan itself. The clutch itself is fine. I think the fan is what explodes. So I'll just get a new fan, put it on the old clutch, and run that if I have temperature issues. And then when I do that, if that doesn't work, I'll look at electric fans. I just don't want to mess with electric fans because that's just wiring and just bullshit. But yeah, thanks for watching this video. I guess leave down in the comments, what's your favorite planet? Alright, take care.